All right, we're gonna make some corn dumplings with a coconut broth. This recipe is perfect to serve in the middle of summer when corn is super fresh. The vibrant and creamy filling pairs with the aromatic coconut broth so well. It makes this perfect addition to any Asian-inspired menu. All right, so we're gonna start off with the coconut broth. It's gonna take a little bit of time for that to reduce, so we're gonna start there and then start working on the dumplings. So we're gonna turn it on a medium-high. We have some coconut milk here. We're gonna just add to the pan. So I have a vegetable stock as well. We're gonna add. All right, then I'm gonna start adding a ton of aromatics, all right? So we're gonna start off with a little bit of star anise, kind of similar to like a pho broth, okay, which is a Vietnamese broth. But we're gonna add these in there. All right, then we're gonna go ahead and add some ginger. Okay, just gonna go right into the pan, little pot. We're gonna add some bay leaf, which really ties everything together. And we're gonna add some jalapeno. And depending on your heat tolerance, really will depend if you slice out the seeds or not. I like the jalapeno flavor a lot, more than just the heat. So I'm gonna do one of them without the seeds and one with the seeds, just to give it a nice level of heat. Next, I have some lemongrass. Lemongrass is optional. Before I use lemongrass, I always pound it out, okay? And what you're doing is you're releasing those essential oils, okay? You're bruising it, so it's making those come to the surface, so when they're actually heated, they're really taken on by the liquid. All right, then we're gonna add some mint. I have a couple sprigs of mint. That's gonna go right in the pan as well. So I have some limes as well, but I wanna make sure that once it's actually reduced to the point where I want it to be, then I'm gonna add the lime juice. If you add it a little too soon, it could turn the dish a little bitter. So we're gonna roll these and set them aside, and then we're gonna work on the dumpling batter. All right, so we're gonna make the filling. And to start off with these corn dumplings, we're gonna actually use a Vitamix to make the filling, make the base of it anyways. Okay, so this is the secret ingredient to this dumpling mix. So I have some freeze-dried corn. You can buy this at most markets, you know, any kind of natural food shop, and also specialty shops carry them. But it's basically freeze-dried corn, so there's a ton of flavor in this. So we're gonna actually blend this to a powder and then remove it from the blender. All right, so we're gonna set that aside while we make the rest of the filling. All right, using the same blender, without rinsing it, we're gonna go ahead and add some corn here. Okay, I have one bag of frozen corn that I've thawed out. I'm gonna add a little bit of soaked cashews. This is gonna give it nice creaminess to this filling. Then we're gonna add some vegan butter. Add a little bit of vegan butter there. So for the broth, once I bring this up to a boil, I'm gonna reduce it down to a low simmer. All right, I have 1 clove of garlic, and I have some vegetable stock that's going in here. You can use a non-dairy milk as well. I like to use any flavorful liquid except water, so wanna add flavor wherever we can. So I'm gonna add some sea salt in there. I'm gonna add the juice of half a lime. All right, let's blend that up. All right, so I want to blend that till it's smooth. All right, then I'm going to remove it from the blender. We're going to add it to a mixing bowl with a bunch of other ingredients. All right, so we have that corn puree. We're going to pour that right in the bowl. So the coconut broth is up to a boil. I'm going to reduce that down to a simmer. Just let it cook down a little bit. Really bring on a lot of those aromatics, a lot of those flavors that are in there. All right, I'm gonna add the rest of that fresh corn that I had. Okay, we're gonna add some green onion in there, lots of green onion. And you're gonna do the white all the way through the green. So there's a lot of green onion in here. I'm gonna slice that as thin as possible here. This corn, sweet corn, and really the little bit of spiciness from the green onion, spring onion, works so well together in these dumplings. Add that to the bowl as well. All right, let's go ahead and mix that up. See now, if you were to fill the dumplings with this, it's gonna be way too loose. Okay, but this is why we have that freeze-dried corn that we blended up. This is going to thicken up the mixture. So we're gonna go ahead and add that in there as well. You can also add other aromatics in here. You can mince up a little more ginger. You can add some chili in here, which is quite nice. I'm just gonna go ahead and mix that. And the nice thing about this corn powder is that it's going to hydrate. If you let this sit, you put this in the fridge, it's gonna hydrate quite a bit and this mixture is gonna thicken up. So what I like to do is, ideally, is to let this chill for at least an hour before you actually start working with it. All right, let's start forming some dumplings. So I have a little small tray. I have a little bit of cornstarch here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle it on the tray. You can also do it on parchment, but the nice thing about adding a little bit of cornstarch here, it really helps it not stick. All right. So we got those dumpling skins we made a little while ago. Check those out. These are great. So let's go ahead and form some dumplings. But what I like to do here is I like to put a little dollop in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna go around the edges. There's a couple ways to fold dumplings, but for this one in particular, I'm gonna make it like a little purse, okay? Kind of like a little shumai dumpling. So we're gonna go all the way around the edge, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and bring that all the way to the top. And twist, and there you have a little purse, okay? All right, now that these corn dumplings have all been formed, I'm gonna now start steaming them. There's a couple ways to steam them. You can get one of those collapsible steamers. I love the bamboo steamer. This works best for a number of reasons. One, because they're so easy to clean, but two, you can actually layer the dumplings on, okay? So I can get 2 layers of dumplings going on all at once here. So what I'm gonna do is that they're placed in a wok. There's a couple ways to use the wok. You can spray it with the spray oil, which works really well, or you can, you know, just put on some cabbage leaves. This also creates a nice base to put the dumplings in. The cabbage is basically making that non-stick surface. All right, so let's get these steaming. Let's finish the broth. So these are gonna swell a little bit when they steam, so you don't wanna have them touching in the steamer, okay? So what I like to do is, when it comes to making all sorts of dumplings, I'll make a big batch of these, and then you can freeze them. You can just slide this tray in the freezer, and once they're frozen, they'll come right off the tray. Put them in Ziploc bags or containers. Let those steam for anywhere from 6 to 10 minutes. All right, let's check on that dumpling broth. So this is reduced a little bit here. We're gonna go ahead and season it up, a little bit of salt. And then we're gonna finish that with some lime juice. And you wanna stir it up and just taste, you know, if it needs something else, needs a little bit more salt, needs a little bit more acid, you'll be able to find out here. Oh, that's great. That is really good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and strain out those aromatics. Once you actually taste and you feel it's delicious, then it's time to strain out the aromatics and just keep the broth itself. And put that back on the burner. Perfect. All right, so now we're gonna plate these up. This is gonna be used for the garnish. Use a little bit of microgreens, micro basil, micro Thai basil. Cilantro leaf works really well. If you like it spicy, a little bit of chili oil is also delicious. Let's check these out. Let's make sure that they're ready. So you can tell these are not ready yet. You'll be able to see the corn a little bit through them. Those are almost there though. Let's check the bottom ones. That needs a little bit more as well. So we're gonna give it another minute or two. Check out those dumplings, those look delish. Yeah, you can see the tightness is there. These are ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and Place one on each spoon. All right, let's finish those up with a little bit of this coconut broth. I'm gonna pour them. All right, let's go ahead and finish those with a little bit of green onion. There you have corn dumplings with a spicy coconut broth. And we're gonna demolish these right now.